Hello, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to do another Photopea project, and this one is a clone project. We're going to clone yourself. So at school, I took 3 photos. Myself standing up back there, sitting down at the computer, and then sitting over here at this desk. The end goal here is to layer these 3 photos, and so I am existing 3 times in one photo. There's a few things you have to do to make sure that it turns out that way. Hold on, here we go. Notice how I did not stand in front of myself. There are ways that I could overlap with myself. It just adds a little bit more complexity. So we might get to that. But for this one, try to just stay in 3 separate places. The other thing that's very, very, very important is holding the camera still. I was lucky enough to be able to use a tripod and then used a timer. So I set a 10-second timer, ran to where I wanted to go, had the picture taken. But the phone did not move for those 3 photos. So if you don't have a tripod, you can lean your phone against something up on a shelf, use that. You could have someone hold it for you, someone take the picture, but you just have to be really, really careful. It doesn't move. You just hold that phone as still as possible. So I have the 3 photos, and now I'm going to bring them into Photopea. I'm going to just start by opening one of those photos. Which one's which? All right. So I brought this one in. The next one from now on, though, instead of just open, I want to open and place. I'm going to open and place the other 2 photos into this file. So I have clone sit. I have background, which was the clone computer file, and open and place one more time, and clone stand. There we go. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to zoom in a bit. So right off the bat on this one, I was standing in the back. What we need to do is mess around with this. We basically have 3 layers here. We're going to choose the top layer and then cut out holes in that top layer to show the other 2 photos from the back, as in the second and third layer. And just looking at my photos, and I'm going to turn some off and turn them on. So this is clone stand, this is clone sit, and then background is the clone computer one. Although it's labeled as background, I'm going to make this one be the top layer. And the reason why is because it has the most moving parts with the chair. And since I'm closest to the camera, I'm the largest in that one. So I want this to actually be my top layer. Now, how do I do that? I'm just going to click it and drag to the top. Now it's the first one. So we'll start by bringing in myself from the clone stand photo. And all I need to do is cut out an area and then delete it. I am going to just use the classic lasso. Magnetic lasso has been slowing down this Chromebook quite a lot today. I'm not sure if there's a real reason for that, and I know about where I am, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than you needed. And missed my arm though. Deselect. And you'll see, since it's highlighted, I'm still just affecting that background. So that brings my hand into it. Okay. Next, I have to effect over here. So I'm still working on my top layer. And we'll see if we just look at the top layer now. All I've done is cut a hole in it. And since it's on top of another photo that was taken with the camera in the exact same place, everything's going to line up. This is why when you take your photos, you want to use a tripod if you have it. Put your phone up against something solid. Don't go back and look at the photos once you've taken one. Just trust that you're in it, right? If you have an Apple Watch, or if you have a smart watch that links with your camera, you could use that as a trigger. You can also use your headphones if you have wired headphones. You can always plug this into the bottom, and then this can act as your camera trigger, so you don't actually click on your phone. And all of these are just different methods to avoid the shake. So clone stand is good. I've cut a hole in my background. I want to show me over here. So I'm still working in the background. I'm just going to use classic lasso. I don't think my feet are in that. You know what? No, so it doesn't really matter. Backspace. Now, I'll double check. Look at that. Yep. So I've cut out the spot. Now, why don't I show up? Well, now if we just look at clone stand, I didn't actually cut a hole out in the second layer yet. So I'm not even going to deselect and reselect that. I'm just going to keep that. Make sure that I'm affecting the clone stand layer. Oh, I have to rasterize it. And there I go. Control D for deselect all. Minus, zoom out a little bit. Control minus. And that's my photo. What I want to do next is move myself. Merge down. And merge down so it's all on one layer. And then I can export as a JPEG or a PNG. You could do other things, but JPEG's a pretty standard one. So this is how, and when you get to this point, you can quality at 100%, and that's about it. So this is how we're going to do the clone assignment. The first thing you need to do is go and take 3 photos of yourself in the same room, or same environment. You don't actually have to be inside if you want to go outside, if you can set this up. You have to take 3 photos of yourself, upload those photos onto Google Drive or onto your Chromebook, somewhere where you can bring them into Photopea, and then you can edit them just like I did in this video. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm happy to help. Have a great day.